it is one of the things when you look at your world and you know your type and you start to navigate relative to your type, you tend to have a whole new approach that maybe it's always been there. Maybe you're just starting to realize that once you see your type, your strategy, your authority, but it just brings a lot of clarity. You don't feel like a victim of the world. You say, oh, wait a second. Everybody else is rowing a canoe, but I'm on a bike and it's okay. We try to fit in the world. And I think sometimes that's where we struggle.
Function, because we are all inherently different. And we all come to Earth to share these really interesting, fine-tuned and specialized gifts, and to relate to each other with those gifts and to benefit from the gifts of others.
All right. Well, welcome once again to Raising the Consciousness of Humanity. This is going to be the Jen and Ron show. Many of you probably already know that Jen is also my co-host. So in the future, when we bring guests on, sometimes it might be just Jen interviewing the guests. Sometimes it might be the two of us. Sometimes it might be just me. But today, we're going to deep dive into a couple of topics. And I'm just so grateful that Jen back in the United States, in Texas, United States, and I'm here in Riccione, Italy. Hopefully I pronounced that right, but it's near Rimini, Italy. And it's just great that we can actually do this. I'm sitting outside the hotel. It's a beautiful day, and I got the cell phone connection. And of course, Jen is helping us with this podcast. So Jen, how's it going with you?
I'm so excited right now. Like, you're on the other side of the world from where I'm at, but I can absolutely feel, like, I can feel your frequency. It's alive, it's vibrant, and it's like verved and ready. Like, we're on the precipice of something so amazing right now. And, we're living in like the time that, that this is made possible to us as humans, Yeah. I mean, I hear a lot of, I don't want to just say it's negative speak. There's a lot of founded reasons why people are afraid right now, why people are feeling stuck or discouraged about AI and, the political climate. There's like so many reasons to be anxious and worried, but there's also so many reasons to be excited, because think about how at one time, I mean, you're normally in Florida, I'm in Texas, even both of us in the United States, we would have never connected, Ron, if we were born into any other time in human history. We are born in a very auspicious time of great opportunity and potential for energetic connection between human beings,
Absolutely. Yeah, and to your point, the world is crazy, and it seems like it's ramping up even more so. And I've always been, why focus on the problem when we're the solution type of thing? And to be the solution, really, if you really want something to be represented in the outer world, it's starting with the inner world. And if we want peace in the outer world, we need peace in the inner world. If we want joy or abundance, it's joy and abundance within. And so sometimes that really means not really turning our back so much to everything that's going on. We can be aware of it, but we don't want 100% of our focus on that. And so being a light worker, starseed, just like yourself, Jen, I mean, it's one of those things is like you feel called. And my calling somewhat is to get on a bike somewhere in the world and to ride it and to have fun. And of course, I created a t-shirt right here, which is pedaling for peace. Yeah, I'm promoting that too. So, and I just feel grateful. So part of this today, we're going to wrap in human design around this conversation. And before we click the record button, just so everybody knows, we talked a little bit about collaboration, how we're all kind of meant to work together. Why? Because we're unique, and in our own uniqueness, even though we're all part of the one divine thing, by whatever name we want to call it, but in our unique profile, or whatever, I guess, template profile, our uniqueness is how we connect. And the fact that some of us have strengths in some areas, we naturally have energy that flows a certain way. Some of us have strengths in other areas. And so part of that is just to share, with you, Jen. I mean, I've just seen how you're masterful with computer and programs, how you just seem to figure everything out. You do it so quickly. And I'm like, how do you do that? That's just like a natural thing for you.
That's so sweet, Ron. It's not what I would consider my normal wheelhouse, but what I would say, I'm not really a tech wizard. I would say that I am an inspirational passionista, that, I get lit up inside. I'm a sacral being. For those of you who are a little more nuanced in human design speak, we'll get into all of that later. But, whenever something lights me up, like it absolutely does, whenever I'm in your midst, when I'm in the midst of other, star seeds, those with callings, deeper callings, while they are boots on the ground here on earth, then, something lights up inside of me that nothing is going to stand in my way in order to achieve what I know I'm meant to do. And that's, a lot of the times, believe it or not, like tech mastery has not been something that has come naturally to me. It's actually been my greatest obstacle, believe it or not. It's been the thing that trips me up and makes me frustrated, which is my not self theme as a generator in my human design. And whenever I become frustrated, that's kind of my clue that I'm not in alignment with my higher calling. But the frustration and the not self theme, it can be viewed as something that's negative, but it's actually a key. It's actually a roadmap back to who it is that you are and what it is that you're here to do. And it can be viewed as something that's tripping you up, making you angry, and like it can cause to be a catalyst for you to stop. But it can also, you can flip that on its axis and see it in the complete opposite way, that it's actually there to guide you. And really that's how I navigate myself. It's not always how I've navigated myself. There have been so many times when I felt extremely stuck, extremely, let down by other people, betrayed, all of these lower frequency vibrations. I'm not a stranger to them. That's something I'm very familiar with. But it can be used as a compass whenever we are in the midst of other people, because we are here to relate to other people. There's no other reason for this fragmentation of consciousness. And when we're here to relate to other people, that kind of begs the question of what it is that the energy within us that is, aching to be explored, so that whenever we come together with the energy of others, what beautiful creations and endeavors are possible.
Yeah. So you're right. We're here to relate. We're here to relate, and to a certain degree also, collaborate, if it's especially with certain people that we resonate with. And that I'm trying to make poetry here. So relate.
In the beautiful Italy, like countryside. It's so enchanting.
Yeah, no, it's been beautiful. I mean, this is the hotel we're staying at is absolutely beautiful. They provided the bicycles too, which was great. So I'm on like an Italian racing bike, which I'm so used to, like a hillbilly mountain bike. This is different. So yeah, but it's good. I mean, we've been on some different routes exploring the area. Yesterday we did a lot of hill climbing, and we went to this place called San Marino, which was quite a high elevation, and it took a while to get there, but we had some coffee, espresso, ice cream on top, and then a bunch
of you when you arrived.
Yeah.
What an adventure.
There was a little store there we were able to buy it at.
Oh wow.
And then we coasted down. The coast was like one of those coasts that went on forever, and it was I was able to capture some of that on my GoPro and post it on Instagram. But yeah, getting back to, so I find human design is freeing. Basically, I say, okay, I see me. I understand. That's the way I've been all my life. It's kind of like a wake up call. You don't feel victimized, like you shared. Yeah, we're still part of the, in the real world. We're still have those moments where things aren't going our way. But when we relax and notice a little bit about, how our profile works, right? How we navigate this world. What you shared is the strategy or non-strategy, right? For you, you said it was what being what was your when you're out of alignment?
The not self theme.
The non-self theme, and for you it was
Frustration.
and for me it's bitterness.
That's right.
So success would be my in alignment.
In alignment is the feeling of success for you, a projector. Yeah. And let me just hop in here for just a second. I want to let everyone know Ron is not like, for those of you who have heard maybe a few tidbits about human design, you've probably heard a stereotype about projectors not having enough energy. I just want to let y'all know that that is a misnomer, and it's something that Ron flies in the face of every day of his life. As a projector, he's riding to alpine mountaintops in Italy and all over the world, cycling with the best of them and making like lifelong friends. He is, if you maybe got kind of a taste or dipped your toe into some human design jargon about what, the 4 types were, it is so much more nuanced and so much more specialized of a system even than astrology offers, with all of its wondrous, and it's even something that is integrated into human design. All of the major philosophies and systems are, but yeah, like the not self theme of each type is definitely something to familiarize yourself with. But yes, for generators like myself, we make up 70% of the human race, and we are characterized by frustration as our not self theme and satisfaction as our in alignment. Like whenever we are in alignment with our design and our energetic frequency.
Yep. No, that's true. That's definitely true. And I would share with everybody listening, I still take naps. so yeah, I do recognize that even though I have moments, I know my energy, I can feel my energy. Like I took a nap just before this, Jen. I don't know if you knew that. I did a lot of cycling this morning, and I came back. I was able to at least lie down for a half an hour. So part of that also is when I'm in a group, whatever the activity, whether it's cycling or whatever it is, I'm feeling the energy of the other people around me. And since you shared about 70% of the world's population is generators, well, for any of you that are out there that are projectors, and you realize that, hey, maybe sometimes you're told, I need to take a nap. I'm tired. That's normal, but also we're meant to work together. And a lot of times when you're around other people, peers, groups, or whatever, and doing whatever activity, your energy can quite often be harmonized with other generators that are in the group. So I think that helps me, because obviously there's times that I do recognize it's I'm getting close to where I probably need to take a nap or take a break. But I've been fortunate. And the other thing about projectors is we tend to get invited. And just, aside, I rode my bike across the country, and I got this email after I did that from a gentleman by the name of Krish from India, invited me to do this ride, which was the same ride that Gandhi walked in 1930, and it was to raise money for the school programs over there for the kids, libraries and computer labs, and also planting trees, a reforestation project. So I just naturally said, oh, this is an invitation, and it's something, an invitation I did sit with for a little bit, because I'm an emotional projector, which my guidance once I sat with it for a bit, I was like, yeah, I'm all in on this. Did that. I met another guy by the name of Jay, who was part of that. He's actually out of the UK, lives in London. And then he said, "Hey, Ron, again, this is like invitation number 2. Hey, Ron, we're doing a trip, a group of us are doing a trip in Italy. We got room for one more." And of course, that's another invitation. That's why I'm here. So being conscious of these invitations and just kind of, I would say, even though my authority is an emotional authority, I have a lot of clarity. Not to immediately jump in and say yes, but I do. Once I allow a little bit of time to go by, I typically have a lot of clarity. Like, yeah, this seems like me, and I feel gratitude for the invitation. So it it is one of the things when you look at your world and you know your type and you start to navigate relative to your type, you tend to be you tend to have a whole new approach that maybe it's always been there. Maybe you're just starting to realize that once you see your type, your strategy, your authority, but it just brings a lot of clarity. You don't feel like a victim of the world. You say, "Oh, wait a second. Everybody else is rowing a canoe, but I'm on a bike, and it's okay." Yeah, it just we try to fit in the world, and I think sometimes that's where we struggle.
I love that you said that. Like it's more about human design is more about self-empowerment than it is about self-ascription. What do I mean by that? A lot of people will, get their star chart, their natal chart, and they'll get like a reading, like a zodiac, astrological reading. And a lot of that information is set in stone. That's the way that it's presented. Like, I remember one of my readings was, ooh, your fourth house is very problematic, and you will have lots of issues with your mother. It's very like prescribing exactly what my life is going to unfold and how it is that I'm going to struggle and, whether or not I will be successful. And that's not at all how human design is structured or presented. It's not how it is inherently designed, and it's not how we are designed either. And I'm not saying that astrology doesn't have some valuable insights. It absolutely does, and it's integrated into the system of human design alongside the I Ching of ancient China, alongside Kabbalism and the tree of life, and how the functionality of all of the channels and how energy flows within the human body. It integrates and marries this information holistically in this fashion where it is empowering to the individual to embrace who and what they are and how it was that they were designed to operate and how it is they were designed to function, because we are all inherently different and we all come to earth to share these really interesting, fine-tuned and specialized gifts, and to relate to each other with those gifts and to benefit from the gifts of others.
Yeah, absolutely. You said it right. Yeah, I think part of it when I looked at my astrology, I did get information. And some of it actually did make a lot of sense, but I don't know if I really had a strategy moving forward. That was the one thing. Good knowledge makes sense, but I don't know if it really empowered me so much to say, okay, now I can use this as a tool to basically be more conscious. And I think that's what I find with human design. It's kind of a self-awareness tool.
Yep.
It really gives you some things like that you can navigate life through, you can navigate relationships with, you can apply it to your business. If you're in a business world, you can apply it to probably your general career path. In some ways,
your friends,
yeah.
Everything. I see human design in every different aspect of human life and how it impacts us, and it kind of puts, Would you agree with this, Ron? It kind of puts the responsibility squarely in our lap to do with this what we will. Because
Yep.
I remember hearing the most amazing metaphor that, you know, a knife is not a can opener, but it can open a can. Like, it's not designed necessarily to function that way. If me as a generator wants to behave as a manifester, and Goddess knows that I have tried, like I have done my best to behave like a manifester. And you know what? I got the thing done. I initiated things. Sometimes we all have to initiate things. That's the, you know, that is the power, the ability of the manifester is to initiate. Right? Yep. But it's not necessarily how I as a generator am designed. I am designed to respond. But that doesn't mean that I can't initiate things. It doesn't take that power away from me to initiate things if that's how I choose. It puts that free will that we all inherently have as humans in this incarnation, it puts it squarely back into our lap so that we can do with this energy that we've been gifted with in the way that we will. And it's something, but it does give me incredible strategy to navigate my own life by knowing my design, by having that technology at my fingertips. It's a game changer, as I think that it was for you when you discovered your design. And I remember you telling me, Ron, kind of retrospectively looking back at all the different times in your life that you were invited to participate in something that was life-changing, was it not?
Oh, absolutely. All my major, I would say, job opportunities, career opportunities, so many of those, if I look backwards now, were invitations. And even in relationships of certain types, I would say we're definitely invitations. So I see that as a pattern in my life, even leadership positions. So being asked to be on a board of directors for like a nonprofit, being asked to do, whether it's sometimes it's the vice president or the president role. So those things kind of come up, and it's normally not me forcing it. It's normally me being asked. And I would say, so even when I look at, we all can initiate. It's not like only manifestors can, but when you're conscious of how. So one thing I would say is, I have a couple of friends that have said to me, Ron, you would be good at doing a podcast. Yeah, and so I got that already. Like, I call that an invitation. I still had to initiate and do that. And actually, neither of them want to get on my podcast. But the funny thing was they were saying this would be good for you. So if other people recognize something, they may be calling that out. And in a way, for projectors, probably get that a lot because people notice something about your energy and they might say that to you. I would also say the opposite. I remember one time when I owned my business and I was going after a large account. This was a sign and graphics business, and I was really pushing hard to get this one major account. I was initiating, and turns out they went to my competition. And I was like, I was so frustrated over that. I was like, how come I did all this time? I spent time with them. I brought them donuts. I mean, I felt like, you know, this was perfectly in alignment. Well, I did not only get the opportunity, but then it was probably about 6 months later, the other company was going out of business. I met the owner, and the owner relayed to me that major account that he ended up getting and I didn't get, never paid him. And really was the point where he was going out of business, because he's like, that was the biggest letdown, where he had to front all the money to get all the supplies to build, to create all the signage and everything else. And I don't know if he didn't get a deposit or what it was. Basically, the story goes, maybe I wasn't supposed to get that, right? Maybe that was not, even though I was initiating and working really hard. So I would say, again, whether you're in sales or whether you're in business or whatever the opportunity is, not not to go into the bitterness, because quite often we can. Bitterness means we're it's our own level of frustration as projectors, but to understand that the world is always working for us. It's understanding how it's working for us. And even when it comes to initiation, or versus invitation, like your invitation, one of the first invitations is the invitation of your soul. What is speaking to you about where is the things that light you up, right? Because everybody who I've talked to that are projectors say, well, I can't just sit there and wait for the invitation.
Yeah. A lot of projectors have issue with that. It's a point of contention, is it not?
Yeah, there's like a long time between one invitation and the next. And so I think part of it is listen to the invitation of your soul, because quite often when you're in your zone of genius or the things that you're best at or what your creativity is, even if you're just in that, doing that, you start to get recognized more, you start to get invited more. But it's different than pushing or trying to forcefully initiate, which you get frustrated. And I know a lot of people who are projectors that do, but just work with the invitation of your soul, because that's what's calling you. That's the way you're meant to shine your light, and the invitations will naturally come.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. And I would say that they kind of are two faces of the same coin, this bitterness and frustration. I know that with myself as a generator and other generators, we kind of take a bit of offense in thinking that, like, what, we just have to wait for something to respond to all the time. Like, we can't have our own thought about something. We can't, something can't, like, naturally inspire within us. Like, it has to be a response. And something I want to point out here, that a lot of people will that get interested in human design, but immediately begin boxing themselves into these confinements of the system and the authorities specifically, and how it is that they're meant to operate. There's also a lot of other technology to take into consideration. And my favorite is getting in touch with where your intuition comes from, because I'm sure most people that are subscribed and are frequenting this content, they've already realized that they have a natural level of intuition somewhere, somehow, and everybody's is different. But what human design does is it kind of gives you the mechanics working behind the scene to where that intuition comes from. It can come from all of these different centers, and some intuition isn't if you have a center defined, it's if you have it undefined. An example I'll give, I have an undefined spleen. When I am in the company of someone who is, maybe fallen ill and they don't yet know it, I can feel it immediately. I can pick up on that information. Now, I don't have the same intuitive reactional response that someone with a defined spleen has to react accordingly to ensure my survival, but I can pick up on the frequencies of wellness in another person, maybe before they can pick it up in themselves. And that's just one example. There's 9 different centers in the human body. There are 64 different gates. There are 36 different channels of power, and how these gates fit into the circuitry together between each center. There are 1,000 points of information to get familiarized with on every individual human chart. And the intuition capacity within you that is inherent in your design is all there for you to understand more deeply and more profoundly, and to kind of build this relationship with, that you always knew that you had this, but now you understand the inner workings of why and how.
Very well said. Yeah. So I would say on that note, to anybody who's listening to this podcast who really wants to dive deeper into understanding themselves, I think we need to invite them to go to our website,
I
right?
do too.
And
It's so
yeah,
new, and it's like it's in the works now, though, isn't it?
yes, but I think it's perfect to let people know about that, and also the fact that we've decided on August 8th that we're going to be doing a workshop. This is something that, regardless of whether you're brand new to human design or you've been around the block a few times, or you've gotten to a point where you're like, how do I understand this? Or you got so far and you're like, okay, I put my profile and I talk it that crazy picture with the schematic of me, right? I put it away. Well, this is a time to kind of revisit. We're going to go on into so many different things, and it's unlike other human design programs. Not to say anything about anybody else. Everybody's doing it, teaching what we would call the core essence of human design. We're going to help you basically understand and navigate your own profile. It's a unique way we're putting this together. It's more personalized. It's just not a one size fits all. Jen is the mastermind behind helping us, create things that would speak definitely to you, speak to you relative to your profile. And yeah, so we're going to do that. Of course, we'll put information down below this video, but we would really like to see you at the workshop. And in order to be part of that, we're going to share a little bit. We'll share another link that allows you to connect with all that.
Yay. Yeah, I want to invite everyone to explore not only human design, but how we work together. Because we are, I want to just not be modest for a minute, Ron. And I want to say that you and we're like this embodiment of why human design is so incredibly special. We represent this dynamic and duality of, I bring to the table this knowledge of human design. Yes, I do. And it lights me up every single day. What Ron brings to the table is this expertise and application to this technology that I'm so excited to share with our audience about. It's just like, it's this perfect match made in heaven where we're going to give you the tools, yes, and we're going to empower you to use those tools to live your very best life. And yes, we would love it if you would visit us at designwithinyou.com, and we will give you a specialized link below this video so that you can peruse that. And we can't wait to see you at the workshop. It's going to be epic.
Absolutely. I think I'm super excited about it. Again, I think even if you've just touched on human design or just heard it for the first time, or you've been one that's played around with it for a while, this is going to help you bring clarity to something that is self-empowering, self-awakening. And honestly, in this day and age, with everything going on in our world, one of the best things we can do is the gift to ourselves. And the gift to ourselves is understanding the way we were designed. And when we become self-empowered, when we uniquely express our gifts, our talents, our strengths, the way we're meant to dance the dance of life, then not only is it freeing for us as an individual, but we also light the pathway for others around us as well. So this exciting workshop, make sure you put it on your calendar, August 8th. More information will be coming out about that. But Jen, I'm excited about this.
I'm so excited, Ron. I can't wait. Are you off for another adventure now? Like, is it a day of cycling again in Italy?
I think it's 3 more days of cycling here. And then I met somebody we're going to get on a train and we're going to go to another part of Italy. I think it's called Verona. And we found a place where
Verona, Fair Verona, where we lay our scene. How amazing. That's the site of the Romeo and Juliet balcony.
Oh, wow. See, I didn't know that.
Yay. Yes.
I'm finding out all of this, but it was an invitation. So I said yes. And apparently there's bikes there waiting for us. So as soon as we get off the train, we'll have another bike adventure.
Oh, what a sync. That's amazing. I love this for you. I love it for us. I get to like walk
Yeah.
and see, that's the cool thing. After connecting with Ron, going on his adventures all across Italy, all across Europe this summer, every time I connect with him, I get to benefit from that energetic frequency of like igniting my excitement. Even though I'm way over here in Texas, it's just bonkers, and it's amazing, and it's why I love this work that I do.
Someday we'll meet on a bicycle, Jen.
Oh my goodness, I don't know if I'll be able to stay upright. The thing they say about like learning to ride a bike, I don't know if that applies to me, but we'll give it a shot.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate your time. I'm glad you're able to manually, make this work from Texas while I'm over here. But yeah, looking forward to it. We're going to be connecting again. Maybe next week I'll be in London, and then after that, then the week after I'll be in Ireland again on another bike adventure. So we'll figure out a time to connect during that. But thank you again for doing this, and we're excited about everybody who can come to the workshop on August 8th.
Awesome. Bye, Ron. It's so good to see you, and we'll see you soon.
Bye, Jen.